Hey gang, I'm Fahaam, your financial freedom guru. Let's turn your dreams into billionaire success stories. Today, I want to take you on a journey into the life and rise of one of the most controversial, flamboyant, yet undeniably successful billionaires in modern history. We're talking about Silvio Berlusconi, the man who shaped Italy's media landscape, dominated its political scene, and built a business empire that spanned decades. Whether you admire him or criticize him, there is no denying that Berlusconi's story is packed with lessons about ambition, strategy, branding, and the complicated relationship between wealth, power, and influence. So let's dive into the billionaire journey of Il Cavaliere, the knight, Silvio Berlusconi. Born in Milan in 1936, Berlusconi did not come from vast inherited wealth like some of the European elite. His father was a bank employee, which gave him exposure to the importance of finance, but his story was largely one of hustle, calculated risks, and the ability to spot opportunities before anyone else. In his youth, Berlusconi was not just another student. He studied law at the University of Milan, and even in his student days, he showed charisma, energy, and a flair for entrepreneurship. He would entertain people by playing music on cruise ships and even wrote and performed songs in nightclubs to make money. This early hustle wasn't just about cash, it was about learning how to charm, persuade, and market himself, skills that later became essential to his empire. The turning point came in the 1960s when Berlusconi entered the world of construction. Italy was experiencing a boom in housing development, especially in Milan, and Berlusconi saw the opportunity. He founded his first company, Edelnor, a construction firm that built residential complexes targeting the growing middle class. Instead of thinking small, Berlusconi went bold. He developed Milano 2, a massive residential project that was more than just apartments. It had parks, shops, and services, creating a lifestyle rather than just housing. This innovative approach set him apart. He wasn't just selling homes, he was selling a vision, and people bought into it. This success laid the foundation for his next leap, the world of media. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Berlusconi realized something powerful. Television was going to dominate the future. At that time, Italy's television industry was controlled by the state broadcaster RAI, but Berlusconi saw that Italians craved more entertainment, more variety, and more private options. So he launched Tele Milano, a small cable television channel that broadcasted to the Milano 2 housing development. What started as a local experiment quickly exploded into something far bigger. Berlusconi began acquiring local TV stations across Italy and connected them into a network. This became the foundation of what later grew into Mediaset, the empire that turned Berlusconi into a billionaire. He focused on family-friendly shows, glamorous entertainment, and football coverage, giving Italians an alternative to the stiff programming of RAI. In doing so, he didn't just build a media company, he changed Italian culture. By the 1980s, Berlusconi was firmly in the financial elite of Italy. Mediaset had become one of the most powerful media empires in Europe, and Berlusconi controlled a large share of it. But his ambitions didn't stop there. In 1986, he purchased AC Milan, a football club that was struggling financially and in decline. Many thought it was a crazy move, but Berlusconi saw football not just as a sport, but as a platform for influence, branding, and national pride. Under his ownership, AC Milan was transformed into one of the greatest football clubs in history. With big investments, world-class players, and a vision for success, Berlusconi's Milan won trophies, dominated Europe, and became a global powerhouse. For him, football wasn't just about money. It was about image, identity, and reaching millions of fans worldwide. This move cemented his status not only as a businessman but as a cultural icon. And then came politics. In the 1990s, Italy was in chaos, with corruption scandals destroying traditional political parties. Berlusconi saw the vacuum and stepped in with his own party, Forza Italia. Once again, he marketed himself as a brand. Using his media empire to broadcast his message, he positioned himself as the successful businessman who could save Italy. And the people bought into it. He was elected Prime Minister in 1994, beginning a political career that saw him serve 4 terms, making him one of the longest-serving leaders in Italian history. He was nicknamed Il Cavaliere, the Knight, after receiving the Order of Merit for Labour, although he later resigned from the order in 2014. His politics were controversial, his leadership was divisive, but there was no denying his ability to connect with ordinary Italians and use his media platforms to strengthen his image. He blurred the line between business, entertainment, and politics in a way that few have done before. But Berlusconi's journey wasn't all smooth sailing. With great wealth and power came massive controversies. His time in politics was marked by scandals, accusations, and court cases ranging from tax fraud to corruption to personal controversies that filled tabloids around the world. Critics argued that he used his political power to protect his business interests, while supporters saw him as a visionary who challenged the establishment. Regardless of which side you're on, what's clear is that Berlusconi mastered the art of survival. Every time people thought he was finished, he came back. That resilience, that ability to keep bouncing back despite failures, is a lesson in itself. On the business side, his empire continued to thrive. Mediaset became one of the largest media companies in Europe, his ownership of AC Milan gave him global visibility, and his investments in real estate, publishing, and banking diversified his portfolio. Forbes consistently ranked him among the richest men in Italy, with a fortune that ran into billions. His flamboyant lifestyle, luxurious villas, and high-profile friendships made him a symbol of Italy's glamorous but controversial elite. He knew how to live like a billionaire, but he also knew how to market that lifestyle to create influence. In many ways, Berlusconi embodied the fusion of wealth, politics, and celebrity. As we look at his life, the lessons are clear. Berlusconi understood timing. He entered construction during a housing boom, media during the rise of television, and politics during a collapse of traditional parties. He also understood branding. Whether it was Milano 2, Mediaset, AC Milan, or Forza Italia, he built brands that people connected with emotionally. He understood risk. Every move he made was bold and unconventional, but he backed it up with vision and execution. And finally, he understood resilience. No matter how many scandals or setbacks he faced, he kept coming back, refusing to fade away. Silvio Berlusconi passed away in 2023 at the age of 86, leaving behind a legacy that is as controversial as it is influential. For some, he will always be remembered as the businessman who gave Italians modern television and made AC Milan great. For others, he will be remembered as the politician who divided Italy and left behind endless scandals. But for all, he remains a figure who cannot be ignored, a man who turned ambition into power, and power into influence, reshaping Italian society in the process. His journey is not one of a perfect role model, but of a relentless dreamer who dared to go big in every field he touched. And that's what makes his story so powerful for us when we talk about financial freedom and the pursuit of wealth. You don't have to agree with everything he did, but you can learn from his vision, his boldness, and his ability to build empires from scratch. Berlusconi's life is a reminder that financial freedom is not just about making money, it's about creating opportunities, taking risks, and having the courage to chase dreams on a scale that scares others. Whether you love him or hate him, there's one thing you can't do: ignore him. Silvio Berlusconi lived a billionaire journey that will be studied, debated, and remembered for generations. And that, gang, is the kind of story we bring here to inspire you to chase your own version of financial freedom.